Hey, how you doing there, young fella? Welcome to episode 6. We are going to carry on as Mildred. And actually, again, same as last episode, we are not going to be breaking character. Got a double whammy for you today, folks. We're going to be doing a couple of areas. And the first one, I think you can probably guess where we're going. Now, I don't remember who said it or what video it was on. It was a long time ago, but somebody in my comments said that I should be doing something of a, I don't know, like a tour guide kind of thing, or like a tips and tricks kind of thing. So I'm going to be doing this episode kind of like that, but of course in lieu of our low-level character here. As you know, we are soul level 15. We have maxed ourselves out at +5 standard weapons just so that we can invade some pukes in the low-level areas. So yes, we have gone back to the Asylum. There is two very specific reasons why we are going to do that, and we'll get into that as we go along. If you have any decks at all, you really want to take these hollows out with a bow. If you're handy with fire bombs, you can do it that way too. These guys are not your typical hollows. These hollows have really grown up and learned a few things since we were here last, and they are pissed. So yeah, definitely we don't want to let them get close to us at all. Now, we could kindle this bonfire. I'm not gonna bother because I tend not to have a whole lot of problems with this boss. Simply walk onto the floor to activate. I don't know how many of you guys know about this, or if you noticed that I did this, but like as I hit the ground, I was spamming the roll button, and that I did that so that we will roll as soon as we get down here, because one thing we don't want to do is come to a dead stop, because a lot of the time, just like he's doing now, as soon as you get in, he's going to do that big AoE blast. And if you're stuck because you couldn't move when you got in, when you hit the floor, that blast, there's a real good chance that blast is going to get you. And at this soul level, wearing what we're wearing, that's going to be a one-shot. In fact, if we get nailed with that AoE blast area of effect, we are going to get one shot. So we absolutely don't want to do that. If you want to do yourselves a favor fighting this guy, put on a bleed weapon, even something like the Morning Star or the Flamberger, which is a little slower. Definitely, yeah, bleed effect works very well on any of these fat tub of shit reskinned Asylum demon bosses. And it's the greatest thing in the world when he does that levitate and butt slam move, because he is just basically advertising, hit me, bro, hit me. You get all the free hits until I decide to do something else. But when you run in for your running R1 after he's hit the ground, you don't want to go in too fast, because the shock wave can stagger you, especially with a build like this where you got no poise at all. Or I think even if you have some poise, I don't know what the poise break number is on it, but yeah, you can get stun locked by that, and then you can forget about your first hit. You'll still get 1 or 2 hits on him, maybe 2 hits on him, but you're not going to get 3 hits on him. So be careful with that. Anyway, we made short work of that. Boss, this was one of the reasons why we wanted to come down here for this optional boss. We wanted to get the Titanite slab so that we can upgrade our sack. And what a silly use for a Titanite slab that is. Now, not much use in fighting this Black Knight here. I was going to call him a Silver Knight, I'm sorry. And the reason for that is he's going to drop any number of things that we can't use. The only thing that he could drop that we could actually use is the Black Knight shield, which is actually a pretty good shield. I believe it's got pretty good fire defense. So we could use that if we wanted to. But the Black Knight sword, which I love, we don't have the stats to use that. And this was ridiculous. Like, we sit at the bonfire, and I didn't think anything of it, and then it's like immediately kicked out of the bonfire. It's like, I don't think we're getting invaded here. And I didn't even see that Oscar was making his move. So that was kind of a surprise. Yeah, the Black Knight sword, we can't use it with this character, but if you had enough strength to two-hand it, or maybe you had 20 strength and 18 dex, which I believe is what you need to use the Black Knight sword, by all means try to get it. But if you're going to stick around this soul level, do not upgrade it. We want to stay at +5. And the other thing that's useless to us is... Oh, this was really good here. The other thing that's useless to us is the red chunk. Yeah, we kind of got caught up in the camera and couldn't really get around fast enough, and the Black Knight just said, "You're in my house, bitch." So thank Christ we were able to get our souls back. Yeah, the red chunk, you're only going to use a red chunk if you're going to go more than fire +5. So you're going to go to fire +6, or you're going to make your fire weapon a chaos weapon. We will not get anywhere near that. If we're going to make a fire weapon, it's going to be fire +0, because that's still going to be the equivalent of a standard +5. We cannot upgrade any fire weapon. We won't even think about making a chaos weapon. And that's all there is to it. Now this hollow was pissing me off. It wasn't really so much the hollow, it was more just this pillar here, which we hit. So we express our frustrations at that little pillar. The only point in coming up here is to get the rusted iron ring, which, I mean, we are eventually gonna have to go back to Blighttown anyway. We don't have to go back to Blighttown specifically, but I have invaded in Blighttown. I keep forgetting that that is a area where we can absolutely get some invasions and or do some co-op. But we definitely want to have the rusted iron ring if we're going to do that. So in that case, we would forego the ring of steel if we're going to be in the swamp, and we're definitely going to want to stock up on our purple moss before we go down there and do that. But that's like a million years off from now anyway, so... These hollows will really mess you up. I'm not kidding. These guys, especially at this soul level, I mean, it doesn't take much to kill them, but it doesn't take much for them to kill you either. So, especially with no poise, like Mildred has here, you can really get into trouble with these guys if they decide to swarm you. Yeah, the other thing we came here for, which we didn't even talk about, the Crest shield. I like to use that against the Four Kings. We're going to talk about the Four Kings when we get there. That is going to be about 10 episodes. We're at minimum that we are going to have to... I predict we're going to have a tremendous pain in the ass against the Four Kings. How do you like that, English? Yeah, but the Crest shield has very, very good magic defense. So typically what I like to do is I'll use the Crest shield and the Grass Crest shield. Normally, I'll just put the Grass Crest shield on my back for the Four Kings, just for that stamina regen. And then when they're going to do one of their magic blasts, I will switch to the Crest shield to absorb that, because I can't get away for that for shit. How do you like that, English? We wanted to kill this guy just because we're going to be running through here maybe a couple of times, and I've been killed here before, and it doesn't really take that much to kill him, but it is kind of a liability to have that Demon Titanite sometimes. Not so much with this build, but let's say we have a build that's like 16 strength and 13 dex. And we're going to stay at +5 standard so that we can do multiplayer at low level. And I say that it's kind of a liability to have Demon Titanite at that level, and this is the reason why. Let's say you're going to do yourself a huge favor and get yourself some Gravelord sword action. Well, if we want to stay in our matchmaking wheelhouse... Oh, and it was at this moment I fucking realized that I never bought that Crest key, so we have to go back for that. That was dumb. Yeah, if you want to stay within your matchmaking wheelhouse, which is +5 standard, and you can look up the table, like, oh, you can invade anybody from a +0 standard upgrade, or +0 anything, to... I can't remember what the ceiling is on that. I think it's like +7 or +8 standard, something like that. We don't want to screw up our matchmaking, so just having a Demon Titanite in your inventory, you could accidentally, either at the weapon smith box, the upgrade box that you buy so you can upgrade your own stuff at a bonfire, or at a blacksmith, you could accidentally apply one of those Demon Titanites to your Gravelord sword, and then it's like, cool, well, I just shifted my entire matchmaking, and I didn't mean to do that. So, you know, if you're going to dedicate yourself to a character, and you are going to dedicate a character to this matchmaking range, I don't know, it's not a good idea to have that stuff on you. It's just to have that stuff on you is in your inventory could be detrimental to the build. And it's not like, oh, I went up to Gravelord sword +1, ooh, I ruined the whole build. Well, no, but I mean, if you want to invade people who are just new to the game, which, you know, we can do that if we want to do that. We are able to do that. We're gonna miss out on some pukes doing that by upgrading that sword. So if you do pick up a bunch of stuff like that, one option that's available to you is, you know, if you got a couple of options available to you, you can drop it so that you don't accidentally upgrade it. You can drop it in somebody's game, like let's say you invade somebody and it's the host is cool and maybe doesn't want to fight. You can say, here, have a Demon Titanite, have a red Titanite, or red Titanite, yeah, have a red chunk, have a blue chunk, have a white chunk, like whatever it is. You could buy the bottomless box and throw them in there so you don't accidentally use them, right? So there's any number of things that you can do to prevent yourself from making a mistake like that. And moving right along, you can see we have gone into the forest. Yes, this is not an optional boss for us. We absolutely have to beat Sif because we have to beat the 4 kings to get the permanent red eye orb. We are going to invade. Sif is a boss that I tend not to have a lot of problems with. And I don't know why. Now, you saw me just eat shit there. I don't know why, but it's like 1 or 2, and look how much damage that did, by the way. It's like 1 or 2 mistimed rolls that I will tend to do fighting this boss. Like, I don't know what it is. It takes me like one good bop from Sif's boomstick to actually get into the fight and say, oh yeah, that was poor timing. I can't time it like that again. And yeah, same with the Asylum demon or whatever the hell. I don't know. Was that Stray demon? I can't fucking tell the difference. I don't know who they are. Unlocked. I like to do this boss unlocked. Your camera gets a good workout. Now you'll notice that one that I just did, we rolled the first one and then we just didn't even do anything for the second one. If you're close enough when she does her double swing like that, you're close enough, you don't have to roll for the second one. You can just forget it. But it's same with that there. Like, I've learned that there is a proximity that you can make use of, that you don't have to roll for that second attack if you're kind of right in between her tits there. Excuse me, wolf, fuzzy wolf tits. Is that disrespectful? They say Sif is a girl because Sif is a girl's name in some Scandinavian country. I'm not entirely sure. Oh yeah, so look at my health bar. I wanted to talk about this too. You'll see it's we chugged up a while ago and we haven't chugged up since. Sif, well, I guess that's the end of that shit, but yeah, Sif will do this little tiny chip damage to you here and there, just as she's jumping away from you, which can be kind of annoying. So you gotta, and if you have no poise, you're still gonna take some damage, but it'll very temporarily stagger you a little bit, just barely. So you want to pay attention to that. We tried to invade in Sens. We didn't get one. We tried to invade in the parish where those 3 hollows are. We didn't get one, and we finally just walked through, and we've got a nice young man here whom we have invaded. We'll give him a nice high-speed wave. Yeah, you'll notice actually, and I didn't talk about this, when we went into the forest. And this guy could have been a good recipient for some, upgrade materials, or so we think, anyway. Yeah, we didn't kill any of the forest NPCs except for the bandit dude, and he ended up killing himself anyway. We could have left him alone, but yeah, I didn't want to waste a whole lot of time killing those NPCs and getting the souls. We can always come back and do that later, but I really suspect that I'm gonna lose all my souls in the Four Kings boss fight. That's another reason why, normally I would go to 10 humanity in my counter, but I don't even want to do that yet because I think we're gonna lose it all, and I think we're gonna lose it all more than once. And that is just gonna be ugly. I don't know if that's gonna be next episode or maybe the one after that. We can go there anytime because we have beaten Sif. We have the item that we need, the Covenant of Artorias. We absolutely have the item we need to access the Four Kings boss fight. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do Anorlando first. We might just try to do the Four Kings just to get it out of the way, but I really think that's going to be fucking 30 episodes just by itself because I've had such a hell of a time with this character, with Mildred's gone by, that I think it's just going to be a disaster. So yeah, well anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed that. That was a fun episode, a little double whammy for you, and then a little invasion at the end. That's gonna do it. I'd like to thank you very much for watching, and I will see your fine ass later.